What's up, YouTube? It's Carolina Calvin coming back to you with another video. Got my buddy Daniel here. We're going to talk about E3 2018. I decided to do all of the press conferences in one video instead of breaking it up, just because some of the companies I don't have a lot to say about. But we're going to go through each company from who goes first to, of course, last. And last is Nintendo, first is EA. Gonna tell you the times, games we kind of expect to see at E3 for them, games that we maybe want to see, and I guess overall impressions of just the company themselves, because there's some companies that I do not like. But starting out, EA, it's kind of flipped around. I remember in years past, Bethesda has gone first, but EA goes first this year, which will be Saturday, June 9th, 11 a.m. Pacific time, which is like 2 or 3 here. Well, at least I'm EST, Daniel Central Time, so it is around 2 or 3 here. But for EA, we're gonna see Anthem. It was a game that got pushed back. Didn't it get pushed back until next year?
I think. Not quite sure on it.
But this game, honestly, it's kind of been in the development hell with what's going on with Battlefront 2. What happened with Battlefront 2, and just the complete disaster from a PR standpoint with all the BS that they were doing with that game. It was clear that Anthem probably was designed the same way.
It was probably built revolving around the loot boxes or microtransactions, and they have to rebuild it structurally because they're just like, we can't do that again.
Yeah, because Battlefront was built around it, and look at all the issues. It was so bad that the grind was so bad in Battlefront 2, they had to completely change the game, but they couldn't redo the game because it had already come out. But Anthem looks like a cool game, but you can't trust EA. You can't trust EA to come out with anything, so we're probably going to see more about it. Maybe get an official release date. Maybe they say next year. I definitely, it's already gotten pushed out of this year, so hopefully they made some changes to whatever scumbag loot boxes and microtransactions that they do have in the game.
Like, the one thing that I would never thought I would have been afraid of hearing, it was free DLC.
You got to be afraid of it now, because that goes on to the next game, which kind of scares me in this a game that I personally like a lot. And that's Battlefield 5. Now, they had a presentation last week. It was garbage. Complete garbage. It almost bored me more than PlayStation experienced at the end of last year. I mean,
They didn't even show anything there.
no, they didn't. And this right here, they showed a little bit of gameplay, but the guys presenting it were terrible. The guy, it seemed so half-assed. I just wanted to see gameplay. I wanted to see more information. Honestly, I got more information because I stopped watching, but I got more information from a 20-minute YouTube video where a guy was explaining all the changes, explaining the customization and stuff. I got more information out of that than that entire presentation that they had, that they had hyped up. They had people waiting for it, but hopefully we'll see gameplay for it. And EA will be morons to make the same mistake with it that they did with Battlefront. Because
I would.
Go ahead.
Well, I didn't see the presentation, but wasn't it? I've heard that it was more focused on the whole customization aspect than
Because
anything else.
that's what they're gonna try to sell to people. Because I believe that's a premium currency. Not.
Oh no.
I believe so. I want to say that was a premium currency. The video I looked at, he didn't mention it. He just mentioned gameplay changes and stuff like that.
So they might be going away from loot boxes back to their prior model?
Possibly. I don't know. I think it's just for the customization from what they said, but I will know more come E3. It doesn't sound good, but the gameplay changes are cool because they made a lot of changes that have been in Battlefield for years. They changed a lot of that stuff. We'll have to see E3 with Battlefield 5.
Yeah.
Of course, they're gonna do the dumbass sports games. We can go ahead and throw that out there.
We don't need to say anything about those.
FIFA,
It's
Madden,
just
who
the
cares?
same thing year after year. Slight
Basically,
graphical upgrades,
moving on.
roster updates.
Yep, same old BS. Moving on from that. Apparently, they're still working on a Star Wars RPG. Know nothing about it. Can't say anything about it. At this point, Disney almost.
Do we even know a studio?
Nope. They keep closing studios down. Disney probably close to the point of pulling support from EA. They were close with Battlefront.
If I were them, I'd rather pay the legal stuff for just revoking the license than just having them run the name through the dirt.
Disney has done a good job of that recently, but that I don't know what to even say about that. They're probably gonna show some indie stuff. What I would like to see, you could honestly.
EA always picks up their one big indie title that they show off on the main stage.
They're like, look, we support indie games. Yeah, they did that with that one guy that did Unravel. Who was super nervous. They did that, but
they use that to get sympathy points.
Basically, that's still a scumbag company who will, no matter what the game or how good the studio's been, would love to see a Dead Space 4 dead. We dead.
Oh, there's no chance of that anymore now.
And we were at the summit. It was the end, and they just cut the cord. It's over.
Not to mention what is it? Has it been two or three Star Wars single player games that have been canceled?
Yeah, I remember. I remember one that was almost finished. Star Wars 1313 canceled. They even had gameplay for it canceled. So I mean, they've been really screwing up. And then how they handle Mass Effect and
Oh, don't even get me started on Mass Effect.
Mass Effect's dead now. Like people say, oh, it's you had guys come out and say, oh, it's dead. It's not.
That was a travesty. It was to the point where they're like, oh yeah, this DLC that we set up, it's just gonna be a book now.
Man, at this point they probably just need to sell the rights to that. But another dead franchise. Game I would like to see that could possibly happen is a Burnout. The rest of the games you just can't trust them to make a good game without all the BS. Look at Need for Speed. That's a game that kind of got swept under the rug because of how bad Battlefront 2 was. That game was... Just go look up the microtransactions and crap that they had in that game. It was terrible. But that's all we had to say for EA. Big fat middle finger to them. Next we're on to Microsoft. Microsoft comes on Sunday, June 10th, 1 p.m. Pacific time, which is about 4 or 5 here. Microsoft... This generation, they've struggled when it comes to new IPs, in terms of quality new IPs. They have some ones that, if they was just stuck to them, maybe they could have turned out good. Sunset Overdrive. I like that game.
They've outright canceled a few without really doing much with it.
Scalebound.
Yeah.
That's all you need to like Scalebound. That's the one that got canceled. Everyone was hyped for that.
But I heard that Microsoft was demanding too much with that.
Yeah, and then when they showed it at
it ran horribly.
It ran like garbage. So they just need. I mean, they got some games up here. We expect to see Crackdown 3, but for one, the cell shaded is horribly done. They could have done a lot better. There's games that have done a lot better cell shading, and that don't have a big company behind them. So maybe they need to fix that. And the game was supposed to come out last year. Didn't see nothing about it. They were talking about a multiplayer beta. Nothing about Crackdown 3. And I'll give them credit. They stuck with it. Crackdown 2 was a failure, but they stuck with it. So I'll give them credit for sticking with Crackdown 3. Hopefully, we haven't heard anything about it. Next, new Forza game, probably Horizon. I believe 3, 4, one of those.
I think it's 4.
Yeah, and they were talking about it's going to be in Japan. I actually like Horizon. Not a huge fan of the Forza games, but Horizon is more arcadey, so that's fine. Black Desert, that was a game they showed last year, E3.
That's supposed to be out this summer, but I haven't heard
nothing.
Anything.
It was supposed to come out last year.
I've seen gameplay.
Isn't it already? It's already on PC, right?
Yeah, it's been out on PC for 2 years, but I've seen Xbox gameplay and it seems to run decently well.
They just
but I heard nothing about it.
hopefully they show something like a release date. That's all people need is a release date. Most people already seen the game. People have played it. It's on PC, but needs some more games to play. And that was a game they were really pushing. You know.
It's like they were pushing it like they somewhat pushed Terra.
Yeah, and Terra came out like a month ago. Another game last night. This is more of an indie game, but it kind of reminds me of Blade Runner for some reason. But
Last night.
yeah, it's an indie game they showed
Don't
last
remember
year.
seeing that.
I think it was during like the indie trailer that they did, and it was the only one that really caught my eyes in terms of like in that montage or whatever. It's like I said, it reminds me of Blade Runner. It's like a side scroller, but it looked like an interesting game. No release date, nothing since E3. You honestly have to dig for it to find anything about the game. Next, I expect Halo 6. I expect an announcement for Halo 6, maybe a trailer. I don't think gameplay, but I think
Oh, you were talking about that game.
yeah. Halo 6, maybe they'll. I don't expect gameplay, but I do expect for an announcement.
Just like a title card announcement thing.
Yeah, maybe a trailer showing something. Oh, it comes out.
Like
come out
like they
next year.
did with Halo 5, where it was just like that really quick teaser, like 2 years before the game came out.
Yeah, because I know they showed. Hopefully, they don't. The problem with the recent Halos, people say, well, the multiplayer has become more modern. It's the single player is taking it back. It's been terrible. Like Halo 5,
I couldn't get through it.
Halo 5 single player is the worst of the series, and I
They
like
need to focus on Master Chief and actually not do false advertising, because that game's advertising was deceptive.
yeah, because they don't actually even fight. You don't actually even fight. What's the name? Locke or whatever.
Isn't it just like cutscenes only?
Yep. So it was all really crappy
There's
advertising.
only like 3 missions where you play as Chief.
Yep. And the boss fights is no like it's the same boss. They kept recycling the same boss. What is this, Destiny? Come on, man. Next, possibly a Gears 5. This all predictions, but I think they could probably come out with Gears 5. Gears 4 to me was outside of Judgment was probably the like in terms of
I never
story.
finished 4. Was it? Did it have a sequel hook?
I don't remember. I don't think so. It might have. I really don't remember. But they'll still try to come out with something. 3 didn't have a
Yeah.
sequel hook, and they still found a way to come up with something in the future. But maybe a new Gears. I liked everything else. Like I'm not a big multiplayer person when it comes to Gears.
Horde mode was fine.
Horde, yep. Of course, you got the third-party deals. We also want to mention this with Sony. I think some of the third-party deals, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which is Square Enix, the third game in terms of the reboot to the Tomb Raider franchise.
Barely seen anything about it.
Yep. So I assume they're waiting for E3. I've heard there were trailers, but I've never seen it on.
I've heard people have played it a little bit. Like, haven't they been doing some like YouTube?
I've heard nothing about it. I haven't seen it, but that's probably gameplay, but I haven't seen anything about it. I haven't really looked.
They're not advertising it very well.
Yeah. So hopefully, and it's supposed to come out this year in September. So hopefully they really push up. Square Enix, Microsoft. Hopefully they really push since Microsoft do have the marketing rights, and it doesn't mean they have. It's not going to be a time thing. It's coming out on pretty much all the
That's
platforms.
simultaneous this time?
Mm-hmm. Not like the last one was a year. You pretty much waited a year for it to go to everything else. Metro Exodus, which is a game got pushed out of this year. Microsoft also has marketing rights to that. Those are the only 2 I know of. Some of the other ones really don't know, but I know those 2 for sure. Microsoft do have the marketing rights too. Metro Exodus looks fun. Just we don't know exactly when it's coming out. Games I would like to see. I mentioned Sunset Overdrive 2.
They dropped the first one to die real fast.
Oh yeah. Hearing rumors of a Quantum Break 2. The first
People
one.
really want that though?
I think they need the thing where they go 100% into it. Like the first one was a failure, but that shouldn't be done. You shouldn't give up on the game. I mean, just to bring up Sony, look at Uncharted 1 in comparison to 2. I mean, they would have gave up on Uncharted 1. We wouldn't have got.
That first game was rough.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's like, don't, like, okay, if you come out with a second game and it sucks too, then, yeah, it's probably, at that point, you might want to start giving up on it. But you got to at least try a second game to see if that sticks. But I have been hearing rumors of that. Fable 4, rumors about that. You know, Fable Legends got canceled X amount of years ago. Haven't heard anything about it.
That would have to be with a new studio.
Yeah, because, you know, but it will add a game to the library. They need some quality games to the library.
Need something, because much as people say that exclusives don't matter, when one group's getting them and the other's not, you feel the difference.
Yeah. I would like to see a new Conquer game or a remaster of the Reloaded game back on Xbox. That was a remake of the old, the N64 game. Who cares? Ratchet, look how many times a game like Final Fantasy got re-released.
We won't mention the last game that Conquer was in.
That was what's the name of that game? Project Spark or whatever.
And that got shut down like 2 years ago?
Trash.
A year ago?
MechAssault, I think is a game that could be good, but I doubt they're even thinking about it. So that's probably not going to happen. Microsoft, there's a bunch of question marks coming in for them. They need a big. Well, also they do have the marketing rights to Anthem, so there's a chance.
Yeah, they do.
I just remember that. So hopefully Microsoft, they really, because they're out of the big three, they're the biggest question mark coming into it, because Sony's already got some of the things planned for the future. Even Nintendo, they've kind of planted that seed last year.
Microsoft's been relatively silent when it comes to talking about E3.
Yeah. So hopefully they have something that can impress us. Hopefully. But moving on, you have Bethesda. So like I said, it flipped around. Bethesda Sunday, June 10th, 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. So it's right after Microsoft. And last year's was boring. I know they showed like Elder Scrolls VR. Oh, garbage. But coming into this one, at least they got a big game to show. I'm not that big of a fan of it, but at least they're trying a sequel. Rage 2. They showed a good amount of gameplay. You're probably gonna get a lot of gameplay here. New Fallout's been rumored, and I'm thinking it's not.
I think it's too early to be a main title.
Exactly. So I'm thinking it's like Elder Scrolls Online, Fallout Online. That's what I'm thinking it's gonna be, and that's gonna suck because Elder Scrolls Online, not a bad game. It's just stupid decisions.
Well, they might do another Fallout just because they keep reusing Skyrim because it was such a success. Fallout 4 wasn't as much a success as Skyrim relatively.
Oh no, definitely not. Ooh, or it could be Fallout VR.
Oh no.
Oh man, they've been big on the VR. Oh man, yeah, that's pretty bad.
Well, at least Skyrim made sense because when you attack in Skyrim, it's wild flailing.
Yeah. You at least get a workout while you're in there playing it. But I don't know what to expect from the Fallout. I want to see another thing. I think they're going to show some DLC probably for Wolfenstein. They already talked about DLC for Prey. Wolfenstein, it's okay. I played the trial, but the trial sucks. I never want to pick it up, and the game is really short. That doesn't make or break a game, but I was never really that interested. I don't know why. I like the first one though. Well, you'll like a game when it's like $10.
The most I've seen is the Hitler scene.
Yeah. Things I would like to see. Elder Scrolls 6. Mainly overdue. It's been 2011 since they've made a new one. The online one don't count, and the re-releases do not count either. I want to see a mainline series one.
That actually improves upon Skyrim because we have Skyrim, but at this point that's a 7-year-old game.
basically. So they're overdue for a mainline Elder Scrolls game. Doom 2 is probably the one game that I'd be super hyped for if they do announce.
I'd pick that up day one.
Yeah, because Doom, the first Doom was really good. They went back to old school. They announced a Doom 2. I will definitely play that. It's probably the one game. It's really that and maybe Elder Scrolls are two games I would like to really see from Bethesda. Other than that, they don't really have a lot. Dishonored, I don't expect to see another one for. It's always a chance with Dishonored, but I don't expect to see another one anytime soon. Maybe probably next year they announce one. Next we have Next we have Square Enix. They didn't have a press conference last year, so they come up right after Bethesda. This is at Monday, June 11th, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Of course, the big game that we've been seeing more of recently, Kingdom Hearts 3. They're probably gonna. There's no way they don't show. If they're doing a press conference when they didn't do one last year, matter of fact, they didn't do one since 2015.
They've been showing a lot more gameplay lately of Kingdom Hearts.
That's why I'm expecting to see a release date for it.
Yeah.
And possibly some more gameplay. Who else will they, what other Disney characters are they going to be?
At least a release window.
And I think, honestly, if you, like, they show the game, the best, because of, recently, Disney owns the Marvel characters. The Avengers are huge now. There's no way that you do not put Sora in there with the Avengers. You have to at this point. Or maybe Star Wars.
Oh, no.
I mean, it could work. Just because of how popular they are. That's why I'm mentioning that.
Like,
because they're popular. They're popular
as far
overseas.
As I've seen is, like, it took them this long to put in Pixar.
They did. Yeah. Because, I mean, who we see? We saw Toy Story and Wreck-It Ralph.
Toy Story, yeah.
Those are the only two I remember seeing. We did see, like, some stuff from Hercules. You saw one of the, like, Titans or whatever. That was really early, a couple years ago. But we definitely expect that Kingdom Hearts 3 to be the main showcase. Shadow of the Tomb Raider, that's more than likely already going to be shown at the Microsoft one, but I think they'll show a little bit here because it is their game. There's a new Avengers game that they said something about that. It's supposed to be some, they call it like the Avengers Project. Who knows what it is? Could it be another Ultimate Alliance or a new game entirely? Don't know. So we know that they are making a game with the Avengers. Don't know much about it outside of seeing a logo. Just Cause 4 has been rumored. Well, I guess whatever.
Did 3 do well enough?
I don't know. I know plenty of people have played it. I don't know the sales numbers, but I know plenty of people have played it. Final Fantasy 7. Will we see something about Final Fantasy 7? That game's development has been.
The thing is, the director of that game, I'm pretty sure he's directing that. He's directing that and Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, so he's not going to focus on both. So it's going to be Kingdom Hearts they're going to focus on. Okay.
Because he's notorious for causing things to take way longer than they needed to. He's the reason 15 went from a 13 title to 15.
Oh, man. So more than likely we probably won't see anything about Final Fantasy 7. That's going to suck because a lot of people are expecting to see something, but just don't get your hopes up with that. Kingdom Hearts you're probably going to expect to see, but not Final Fantasy 7.
Not to mention it plays differently than the old game, which I think is going to hurt.
Yeah, because it's not turn-based anymore.
It's not.
I know a lot of people had a problem with that when they first showed it, that it was going to be heavy, more so action, freedom of movement, stuff like that. So maybe they say something about it. Probably not. Another thing probably I would like to see is a new Hitman, but they've been really quiet on it. The last thing they came out was with like the episodic thing, and it didn't work that well. I didn't play it. I played the game before that, but it's probably dead. This is a good chance.
At least
dead.
for a while.
Yeah. But it's probably I believe there's a Dragon Quest game coming out. I want to say 9.
Is that for Switch?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if it might be for PlayStation.
I'm pretty sure there is one coming out. But there's so many, and I'm not too familiar with the series.
Yeah, me neither. But I know it's like a really popular series, so I just wanted to mention that. Let's see. Next we have Ubisoft. One thing I give Ubisoft credit for, they've come with some of the funniest moments, and not in a good way. Like, I always remember, I think it was last year when they showed off, what's the name of that stupid game? It was like the game on, it was just like a parody of the Trials game.
Trials of the Blood Dragon.
Yeah, it was just like a parody of it, and these dudes came out and they were acting weird. And it was just so cringy.
I think that was 2 years ago.
It was. I don't think they did anything that cringy last year. And then they always bring that one chick that's from Archer or whatever.
They didn't bring her last year.
They didn't. Yeah, because in the past she's been up there. She's super annoying. She tries to be funny. She's not really that funny. And they've had years when they did the laser tag. I'm telling you, they've had the funniest moments, man.
I'd say the cringiest.
Yeah. But they do have some stuff more than probably the show. I would say they'll probably do. Well, let's not put any hopes into that. But there's a good chance they'll do better than EA. Division 2, they got a lot to fix. So I guess they made a lot of money, so they're gonna stick to it, which is fine. Hopefully they fix all the issues the other game had.
That game had so many issues.
That game got boring so quick. It got boring.
They need to fix issues with damage sponges, enemy variety, quest types.
Yeah, and just more, I guess, like, make the classes.
Needs to have more variety in general.
Yeah, that's what they need. That's the biggest thing for this game, variety for Division 2. So hopefully they can bring that in. They could make it an okay game, I guess. Next, probably the game I'm looking forward to the most that they're coming out with, Beyond Good and Evil 2. They did announce that last year, and it's actually.
But it had been rumored for a few years before that.
Yeah, and it's been a while since the first one, so that's good.
We don't have any actual like concrete stuff, do we? Just trailers, like CGs.
Yeah. So hopefully this year is going to be gameplay. It has to be gameplay at this point. And if it didn't already mention Ubisoft's conferences, well, I did mention when their conference. No, I didn't. It's Monday, June 11th, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So it's, it's pretty much right after Square Enix. Of course, we expect to see The Crew 2 that comes out June 29th, 28th, something like that. Racing
That's just getting ready for its launch.
Oh, okay.
Probably.
That's supposed to have boats, planes, cars. They're trying to mix it up. The first one kind of bombed just because they tried to make it this always online racing game, and it just didn't stick with people. Next game, Skull and Bones. They showed this last year. It's the pirate game. Hopefully it can do better than that other pirate game made by a certain company. This, I guess it has more of a realistic look. Biggest problem for me looking at it last year, why, when I saw someone board their ship, it was a fucking cutscene. That takes away everything about being a pirate. I want to go up there and stab someone with a scimitar. I want to go up there and shoot someone with my gun that takes like 2 years to reload.
Needs to have actual combat on the ships. Like, they just need to improve on what we had in Black Flag.
Yep. And that's what I'm saying, like,
because that's where they got the gameplay or like the game idea from.
Yeah, put the stuff from Black Flag in that. Well, of course, without the assassins. Bam, you got you a solid game. Put combat. It's clearly going to be an online only game. Looks like it's mostly multiplayer. They may probably not a story there, but hopefully they can actually make a good pirate game. There's not a lot of them.
Because I know plenty of people who just played Black Flag for the boat.
Yep. Doing all the boat stuff. That was because it was so different than any other Assassin's Creed games. Next, Watch Dogs 3. Hearing rumors about that. I did not play the second one. I played the first one. It was the letdown. I heard the second
I've
one was better.
been meaning to get around to 2.
Yeah, because I know it's been at least like $20. I've seen it really cheap. So I mean,
But I've never had like any real impulse to just like I gotta get it.
yeah. So there have been rumors of that. No location, just rumors. Probably more Rainbow Six Siege DLC.
Another season.
Probably, I'm pretty sure it's actually done well. It's not the game I wanted when they first announced it. I wanted them to go with the Patriots thing, just because I don't like there's no customization, like with like your character putting on certain armor and stuff. That's what I always like Rainbow Six Vegas for. Honestly, I could live with a remaster of that, even though it is backwards compatible. So I could pretty much already play it, but it's dated in terms of the way it looks. Also, rumors of another Splinter Cell game. It's actually been a while. Last one was Blacklist. Hopefully, they come out with another one. They need more good games. Prince of Persia has been a long time.
But they kind of replaced Prince of Persia just with the Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah, they've had those both running at the same. Hold on, let me see. Last Prince of Persia game. I know there was one on 360.
Like 08 or something.
Yeah, and Assassin's Creed game started coming out.
07?
Yeah. Will there be another Assassin's Creed? Probably.
I expect an announcement, but I don't expect a release next year.
Hopefully they don't release another one, just because. Why? That year off help Origins so much in terms of just reception, because it was actually received well. Hopefully they just take some
gameplay was much better.
Yeah. Unity was the one that really hurt the franchise. Syndicate's not bad. Unity left a bad taste, and that's why they took that year off to make Origins. So hopefully they don't do that. Maybe just like an announcement of when like it comes, it's going to come out next year. Then you show gameplay next year, whatever. We're fine with that. Just because you want them to kind of wait. That's all I can think about with Ubisoft.
For Honor devs were confirmed to be there.
So we may get another season for Honor. Probably more.
Because the current season is like apparently there hasn't really been much new stuff. So I assume that's like a placeholder to keep people satisfied for now.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Because like if they don't release anything or announce anything for release here at E3, that game's dead.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they may show something. I'm gonna be surprised. They're kind of sticking with this whole season thing.
The game is salvageable, just like Siege was.
Yeah. Yeah, could happen. But Ubisoft, I honestly think, has more to show than EA. Just looking at some of the games, even potential stuff that of course we're on the fence about, they still have more to show than EA. But Ubisoft, they mess it up. They find a way to mess it up. So with just some cringy crap. But moving on to Sony. Sony is Monday, June 11th, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. They always run pretty late at night. So that usually sticks to being the same. We know you're gonna get the big four. Big four, Last of Us 2. Hopefully we get gameplay for Death Stranding. What is this game, please? Kojima, what is this game? Can we get gameplay? I don't want to see a man with a baby in his stomach. I don't want to see that.
I just want to know what genre it is.
Thank you. Please, no more cryptic trailers. Give me gameplay. Spider-Man, probably not really much to show because I think they shown a lot at this point.
Isn't that coming out in like October?
September. So at this point, I guess you can briefly show some gameplay, but at the most, like a PlayStation 4 bundle or something, just move along. Because there are other games that we have seen nothing about. Ghost of Tsushima is another one made by the Sucker Punch, the guys who made Infamous. Get to see more of that. We saw no gameplay. We saw that PlayStation experience.
We just saw a CG trailer, I think, right?
So maybe we'll see more of that. Days Gone, I think that's going to get a release date just because they showed that a couple weeks ago. They showed an hour of gameplay. Nah, I don't really
Think
care.
it'll be this year?
Nah, I think it'll be beginning of next year, around the time, like similar to the time God of War came out. I think they'll do that. I'm not too hyped about Days Gone. It's just a zombie game. Or
It's another
whatever.
zombie game.
Yeah, I don't know how much they can change the formula, honestly.
Like,
Hopefully-
generally at this point, we like zombie games because of the people, not the zombies anymore.
Yep. Now hopefully they can make a more stable zombie game than State of Decay 2. Oh gosh, that game runs like shit, and I still play it. Next, cryptic trailer, but when it says Souls Die Twice, we assume it's Bloodborne 2. Well,
What else could it really be?
yeah, and the way, just the like you go back.
The
look at trailer
aesthetic
again.
looked like something from Bloodborne.
Exactly. So maybe an official Bloodborne 2 announcement. Maybe I doubt it's gonna be gameplay. I
Like-
seriously doubt it. If that's if it gets shown at all. But
Like, it had, like, From Software isn't working on anything, I don't think. Otherwise,
yeah, there's no new Dark Souls game, at least that we know of.
they said Dark Souls was done for.
Oh, so Dark Souls is done. So it could be another Bloodborne game. So don't be surprised if you do see that. It was huge. It's a lot of people's favorite PlayStation 4 game. Even still with God of War, with God of War coming out. So that's a huge IP for Sony to come out with. Spyro remasters. They're supposed to be remastering the first 3 games. It's gonna get that Crash Bandicoot treatment. So we'll see that more than likely.
It'll be interesting to see with how much audio assets they have to redo. Considering Crash doesn't talk.
Spyro does, so they got to redo a lot of that. Medieval. I don't know if that's a new game or a remaster. I think it's a remaster, but a lot of people who probably looking at this video don't know what Medieval is. Medieval is a PlayStation game, PlayStation 1 game, where it's pretty much a skeleton with a claymore. It's kind of more like a jokey type game.
He was in PlayStation All-Stars, Sir Daniel Fortescue, I think is his name.
He was in there. And a lot of people didn't know who he was. But just because they haven't made a game since PlayStation 1, if I remember correctly. I think he had more than one game.
I think he had 2.
Yeah. Indies, of course. You're going to see the indies. That one that I can really think of right now that hasn't already come out. So, third-party stuff. Probably going to see Red Dead Redemption 2. Unfortunately, we're going to see Destiny 2 and Call of Duty Black Ops 4. So, we know they have a deal with that. Maybe Soul Calibur. We don't know who has the marketing rights to that. I tried to find if I could really find it.
If it's Soul Calibur, we'll either see a character reveal
Yeah.
or release date because it's supposed to come out this year.
Yeah, so you'll probably see some Soul Calibur. I don't know who has the marketing rights for Cyberpunk, but I don't know if they're gonna show it just because they're gonna have that behind the scenes thing. That's not gonna be shown to the public, so we might not see anything.
Potential Mortal Kombat reveal.
Yes, Mortal Kombat. Ed Boon has talked about it because they've pretty much been done with Injustice, so we're probably gonna get something about Mortal Kombat, or maybe they may wait to Evo. They've done that in the past where they've waited to Evo to show like the fighting games and stuff. So it could be that.
What if they do CG trailer at E3, gameplay or reveal, like full reveal at Evo?
I think that'll probably, if they do show it, that will be the thing that happens. Let's see, games that I want to see. Jack and Daxter, it's been a while for those. We had like re-releases or whatever. Siphon Filter is last one came out on PS2. It's more of a stealth game, but it's a game that they haven't done in a while. Let me see. As a matter of fact, the devs that's working on Days Gone are the same ones who made Siphon Filter back in the day. So they kept that dev team around.
I know it won't happen, but since they did do like a remake, they could still continue on Ratchet and Clank.
that's another one. That they got in terms of like the I guess like the furry animal games like
Platformer
that.
stuff.
Yeah, because you got that. You got Sly Cooper. So they got quite.
They
a few
got
of those.
stuff they could bring back. It's just, will they?
Yeah, that's the question. It could get a. It could.
Isn't there supposed to be a Sly Cooper movie?
Really? They may do the same thing they did with Ratchet and Clank, where they came out of the game and then like the movies, like the cut scenes.
Oh no!
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised they didn't do that.
There is a movie.
Ugh. Yeah. Other games I would like to see, Bushido Blade. A lot of people remember that back on PlayStation 1. That was the game where you get hit one time and you're dead. That'd be so different than any fighting game that's out now, because it could be
Other than Dive Kick.
Other than Dive Kick. Twisted Metal. The last one on PlayStation 3 was a disaster. They have to fix that series. You talking about a
Didn't
series?
they go for too much realism?
Yeah. They have to go back to that game.
The game needs to be cartoony.
Yeah, that game was really a classic on PlayStation, the original PlayStation, even into in the PS2 with Twisted Metal Black. Yeah, so hopefully they do something, revive that series, because it got done pretty poorly on the PlayStation 3. And last one, I would like to see a new Infamous game, but I doubt it because of Ghost of Tsushima is being made, so there's probably going to be nothing in that department.
Sucker Punch isn't big enough to do two, are they?
Nah, but they've gotten devs, like, for instance, with like Horizon, they brought in other guys from different dev teams within Sony to help them with it.
Do we have anything from Ninja Theory?
Nope. We got that one game that's made by that one guy. I can't remember the name of it. I meant to write that down. But that's the game that looks really, really fun. Cannot remember.
It sucks that we can't remember the name of that.
Yeah, I really can't remember the name of it, but oof, I should have wrote that down. But it's a game that's developed by one guy. It reminds me of like like your Devil May Cry's, your Bayonettas. Plays a lot like that. Looks really fun. If it's done by one guy, he makes that work. And the way the gameplay looked there, this is gonna turn out to be a pretty good game and kind of a sleeper game. I think it looks like its push is only gonna be being on PS4. So you might have to look it up, or I'll just put it down in I'll put it down in the description or whatever.
Lost Soul Aside.
That's it. That game, yeah. Look that game up. It looks pretty good. Moving on to the last one. Last but not least, Nintendo. Nintendo's game say it was a press conference because they just do the live stream thing.
They probably have the most we could talk about.
Maybe. Probably not more than Sony. I don't know. Let's see. Nintendo's Tuesday, June 12th, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Of course, that's more. It's going to be more of a live stream. They don't do the press conference thing anymore. They haven't done it the last few years. Metroid Prime 4 is on top of the list, number one. Hopefully, I want that the first person. I want the Metroid Prime games from GameCube. I didn't like Other M. That was going back to the side scroll and just didn't do that right. And I think people preferred more ever since they moved on to the first person, they preferred that more. So I want to see that. Smash Brothers, they already talked about the re-release. We don't know when it's coming out. I think they give a release date when it's coming out. Hopefully more content that's going to be there. All the DLC is going to come with it, but hopefully extra stuff. And a new Smash game. I think that
Like a new one?
Yep. At least announcing like a trailer.
I don't know, because I think Sakurai said he's done for good this time.
Yeah,
but
he
you
said
never
that
know
shit
with
last
that man.
time, didn't he?
You never know with that man, but
Like, how many zeros you want? And be like, okay, put some zeros on that check. He'll think about it.
But I don't know how well it would do if they were like, oh yeah, we're re-releasing this one. Oh, but here's another one.
But no, it could just be a trailer. and like don't even show a release date because they did. Didn't they do that with Prime and Pokemon?
Yeah, for Pokemon, they just had a dude talking.
They could do. They could easily just put Sakura. If he's gonna do it, they could easily just put him up there and talk, or show a logo. Nintendo can get away with it. Nintendo can get away with it just because these long running IPs and how hyped people will get for it. So they could just like, okay, release date for the Smash Brothers, and then after that they can show a logo of the next one or whatever. Or if they got a trailer ready, you can show that. But like the re-releasing the one from the Wii U is like instant, that's
printing money.
Yeah, and that's like instant gratification because most people aren't gonna want to wait that long to play Smash again. I mean, to play that new one, they're gonna buy that other one and still buy whenever the next one comes out.
Especially because I'm pretty sure it has all DLC on it.
Yeah, it does have all DLC on it, included with the extra stuff too that they're adding to that edition. Of course, the new Pokemon. Apparently, I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan, but I know it's a big time game. I haven't played it. Been a long time, really long time. They also earlier today they announced 2 more. Like one for Pokemon Go. Trash. I never was into the Pokemon Go fan. Apparently, it connects to your phone. There's no battling, so throw it out the window.
There's battling between trainers.
Battling between trainers, so yeah.
But like actually catching the Pokemon, you just flick the whatever the hell they're called, Joy-Cons.
Yeah. And you also got Pokemon Quest, which is Pokemon Minecraft. That's what it is. It's Pokemon Minecraft.
Well, it has the aesthetic of Minecraft, but it's supposed to be like an action adventure game.
They look like cubes. They're cubes.
I don't like it myself, but it's free. They can do whatever the fuck they want with it.
So they're gonna. I can only imagine.
Clearly, these 2 products are aimed at the younger demographic. Like, it's not for the mainline fans of the series, because I believe they also announced or said that these 2, like the Let's Go, are not the core game that they were working on.
Yeah, the core game they're probably they're waiting for E3 to show. So that's what we're more than likely gonna get. Hopefully it's nothing like those other ones, and it's more like the handheld games, obviously with upgraded graphics, some changes and stuff like that. Because that's probably to me been the biggest problem with Pokemon. Just seeing it from an outside perspective is where's the innovation? Where's the innovation from game to game? It's really not there. There's some slight changes, but where's the real innovation?
Roster updates,
basically. So that's one thing is missing is innovation. It still prints money no matter what they come out with, though. Next, you're a big fan of Fire Emblem. They're coming out with one on the Switch. It's more.
We know next to nothing about it.
Yeah, Fire Emblem is like more of a strategy game. The most a lot of people know about Fire Emblem is seeing Roy.
Seeing 5 swordsmen in Smash.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where most of people's knowledge of Fire Emblem characters, most of mine comes from.
To be fair, the last 3 ones that came out have been increasingly more popular.
Do you think Smash helped that out?
Well, Smash is the whole reason they even started coming out here.
Yeah, right, because it was only in Japan and never came to the States. So they're gonna get that's gonna come out. They're probably gonna show a little bit about it. Who knows when it comes out? No, next to nothing about it. What is Octopath Traveler? I wrote that down. I don't know what the hell it is. What is that?
Well, it's an RPG made by Square Enix that's supposed to be coming out relatively soon after E3.
Uh-huh.
Supposedly, you play 8 different characters. And that's where the name comes from.
Okay.
But it's just like, it's a partnership between, I think, a Nintendo studio and Square.
Okay. So
because it's supposed to only be on Switch.
This is like a strategy game or something?
Turn-based RPG.
Turn-based, okay. Hopefully, probably see more about that. Bayonetta 3, another big game that I do like. Like Bayonetta 2 a lot. And they announced that earlier this year. Was it last?
Did the Switch version of 1 and 2 already come out?
Yeah, they already came out. They came out already. Then they announced that at the end of last year. I want to say it was the end of last year. They announced Bayonetta 3 because that's when they announced the Switch version of 1 and 2. Then it was like, oh, it just came out of nowhere and announced 3, and people were like super hyped. So 3 is definitely coming out.
Isn't there a No More Heroes game?
Oh, yep. Would this be the second game?
This is the third.
I like the one on the Wii. I remember playing the one on the Wii. I like that one a lot. So that's another game. I actually didn't write that down. I forgot about it. They did mention that. I remember in the past. No idea on the release date though.
I don't think it's supposed to be number 3, but it's like a spin-off. It's No More Heroes Travis Strikes Back. Or again.
Hopefully it's not no half-ass garbage. Hopefully it's like the first one. And then you already got the Joy-Con, so it's right there to to play with that game. But about that Bayonetta, Nintendo, you give Nintendo credit. They've done a good job. A lot of people thought the Switch was gonna be a failure. I didn't necessarily think so. I didn't think it was gonna do as good as it has, but big games, Zelda sold like crazy, Mario, even a game like Splatoon 2, don't care about it, but I give it credit, it's done well. They've come out with a lot of the Wii U games that people didn't buy like that just because of the troubles with the Wii U. They brought those over to the Switch. I expect to see more just because of how well those games have done. There's
a few notable ones that would probably benefit from being re-released. Like, remember that Fire Emblem Shin Megami Tensei crossover?
Yeah, that they didn't advertise. That would be one to bring over. So I can honestly see them doing like a montage of just a bunch of the games that's getting put over onto the Switch. There's still quite a few that they could do. Rumors of a Star Fox racing game. So I'm assuming it's gonna be like Flight Sim. I know a lot of people are looking forward to like. Hopefully they come out with Diddy Kong Racing because we haven't seen one since the N64. So Star Fox racing game, I assume it's flying racing. Maybe we'll see more. I would love to see an F-Zero game, which at this point the games that are replacing are the Wipeout games. Those games are the equivalent of that, and that's the only way you can even experience those types of games. You play Wipeout, but it'd be nice if they come out with F-Zero.
I'd like to see another Animal Crossing, like a proper one.
Didn't they announce one?
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
They said there's gonna be something for Animal Crossing for Switch.
That game's too popular. They'll probably say something about it. It's too popular for them not to. And even if they don't, they'll probably say something about it in the future because they do directs. They do directs that just they'll announce a direct the day before they do it. This is how they work. N64 Classic.
That's a given.
Yeah, just because NES Classic is sold like hotcakes. SNES Classic sold like hotcakes. Just move on to the N64. Skip over the Virtual Boy.
There's only 8 games for that anyway.
Yeah. So N64 Classics. I don't know. It could. There's no telling how many because. NES Classic, SNES Classic, the amount of games decreased. So I can expect it to decrease again when it comes to the N64 Classic. Shouldn't be like that, but yeah, if they want to keep it around the same price that they charge for the SNES one, that's probably what they're gonna do.
Is there a rumor about Fortnite going to Switch?
Or was
that announced?
That is a rumor that I've heard that Fortnite and even Black Ops 4 going to Switch. It just shows you how popular Switch has become. This is when it never happened at the same point in time with the Wii U. People were pulling support. Third parties were pulling support and said, nah.
Yeah, after that first year, it was all gone.
Yeah. So you expect to kind of see more games. Third parties coming, and making games for them. But I did hear Fortnite was one.
I expect them to show a small snippet of that Monster Hunter that was announced.
Yeah, what was it called again?
Generations Ultimate.
Okay, yeah, they're more than likely gonna show something. So Nintendo, Sony, probably I could see definitely having a lot to show. You know, Sony kind of already told you what they're going to show. Nintendo, you expect to see a few, but then there's others that could definitely still be a huge deal. But that's E3 2018. Of course, I'm going to come back with videos talking about how the conferences went, trashing the ones that were bad, because, you know, no filter. I'm going to, if they were bad, I'm going to trash. I don't care who it is. And, you know, giving credit to the ones who did good, no matter who it is. But let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you've already subscribed, do so. Hit that thumbs up button. Peace.